previous session, we reduced slacker from around 49,000 to 35,000 polys by just going in and using the poly reduction tools with Insta-LOD, or also using the poly reduction wearables. Now we're going to take a look at how to reduce this even further. You could come from right here and you could go ahead and you can open up the remesher, and we'll get into this in just a minute, but this is where you could directly from here remesh into different LODs. But if you wanted to further reduce this before you did it, just to get your poly count as low as possible, you can come in here and convert it to a game character. Now before we do that, let's go over here and take a look, and you see there's a whole bunch of maps and things. This is just a regular character. Well, we can collapse all those maps and do things by converting, picking a single material. You can pick what size you want that individual map to end up being, and then we go ahead and we convert it. Now you notice it's 35,724 as far as in the project. Okay, now if you'll take a look, you'll see we're down to 19,684 or 19,364 as far as the character goes. So we knocked quite a bit off of it right there. Now from here, we can go ahead and reduce it further by using the Insta-LOD feature. Now from here, we open up our remesher. You can go ahead and click this if it's not ready. Choose your appropriate choices. And in this case, as you can see, we have 3 levels. You could come right here and set it to 5 if you wanted. You can see how it goes from low to highest. There's low. You also have different size maps you can use. And in this case, level 1 is going to be high. Level 2 is going to be normal. Level 3 is going to be low. Now that's not the lowest, but the lowest can kind of tend to have pointy heads. They can be used way off in the distance and things like that. But for here, we're just going to do 3 levels. And we're not going to go ahead and keep the original avatar, even though we could, but you can always come back and export that anytime you need it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Then you hit export. Now this does take a while because it's going through and doing a lot of work and exporting separate models for each one of these. And I've already got some exported. So we'll take a look at those. Okay, now I've got 3D Exchange up here, and we're just going to use it to take a look at these models so we can see what's going on here. First one I'm going to do is I'm going to load in the high poly one. And as you can see, it's 9,672 polys. Now we're going to go for the second one. As you can see there, it's 7,000, and we're having some problems. I mean, we're starting to see some triangles disappear or merge wrong or possibly go into other triangles. But remember, these are used at distances. Now here is the lowest of them, and it's at 5,000. And actually, it's one of the better looking ones. The first one had some problems right down here at the bottom of the shirt. This has problems with the legs, but not as bad as some of the others were. Now you can always go back and up those polys just a little, but you're gonna have things like this happen. And it may be also another reason this could have happened is we brought the polys down so low before we did anything that it may not have left enough to work with. So sometimes you may want to go back and not quite bring your original model down quite as low to begin with, and that'll give it a little more material. We'll give it more faces to work with, where you won't have these gaps happening and things like that. But this gives you an idea of how it works. Go in and experiment with it. There's really not a whole lot to it. It does all the work for you.